We are following breaking news out of Washington, D.C., where an Israeli diplomat has been killed. It happened near the Capitol Jewish Museum, which is just 1 block away from the FBI Washington field office. I want to bring in WRC's Ted Oberg, who joins us by phone. Ted, thank you so much for being available tonight. I know you've been following this. What are the basics that we need to know?
So, Catherine, this happens about 9:15, just outside, literally steps outside the front door of the Capitol Jewish Museum, which for people who might be familiar with D.C. at all is sort of halfway between Union Station and the National Portrait Gallery. It is in the heart of downtown D.C., blocks from the Capitol, and as you mentioned, just behind the FBI's field office here in D.C. What we know is that 2 people have been killed in a shooting at very close range by a suspect who, according to 4 senior law enforcement officials, paces outside this event, opens fire against this man and woman, and in the course of his arrest is according to these law enforcement officials, yells, "Free Palestine." The UN ambassador from Israel has called this a depraved act of anti-Semitic terrorism. We're waiting for more details now at a news conference expected to start any minute here in D.C. from not only the D.C. mayor and the D.C. police chief, but the Attorney General Pam Bondi, who has also put out on her X account that she is praying for the victims of this violence. It is obviously a huge story in D.C., but to imagine all of this happening outside a museum where the American Jewish Committee was having an event there at the museum, it shocks the conscience to believe what has happened here in D.C.
And tonight, the Israeli ambassador to the UN posted in part, quote, "The fatal shooting that took place outside the event that took place at the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C., in which Israeli embassy employees were also injured, is a depraved act of anti-Semitic terrorism. Harming diplomats and the Jewish community is crossing a red line." What else, Ted, have we heard from public officials?
Well, I think the tweet from the ambassador there is important, but what we do not believe from our colleagues who are there at the scene that anyone else was injured in this shooting. We believe that the NBC News reporting suggests that the man involved in the shooting is a diplomat. We do not believe from sources that he is the ambassador, but someone who else. Obviously embassies here in D.C. have large staffs, especially the Israeli embassy has a huge staff here in D.C., and so it is someone connected there, and we expect to learn more. We believe that on the scene, from colleagues who've been there, that the embassy staff may be on scene as well as the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney for D.C. here, and obviously dozens of police officers. But other than that, I think it is hard to figure out what else is going on. I think we are being waved off of any notion that this is a random shooting outside an event by the American Jewish Committee. It appears to be connected to the people who were there and the event that was going on.
Particularly since some of the reporting that you mentioned seemed to have referenced the conflict in Gaza. Now I want to bring in.
I mean, let's underline that with a very sharp marker. A suspect in the course of the arrest yells "Free Palestine." We're told not only is the suspect obviously in custody, but the gun that they allegedly used is also in police custody.